Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. So today's video is going to be a loadout video for my Veto Pro Pack SPMC. So I had a previous video where whenever I first received this, I took the tools out of my SBLD that I was currently using, moved as many of them in here as I could. And I was actually pretty surprised how many fit in here, but I've kind of fine-tuned it since then. A lot of it may be the same, but I have decided fully what I'm running here. I've been running the same stuff in here for at least 2 or 3 weeks now. I don't feel any need to change anything around. It is working out for me. So I did get this bag for free during the spring promo. I bought the Tech MCTP infrared. I'm still working on that loadout, but I'm currently not even using that bag. This one, along with my MP pouches, is working well enough for me. Again, I would call this my 90% bag. I open up my truck drawer. It's right there. I've got it strapped in so it doesn't tip over. Grab it out, get most of my work done. I was a little bit worried. It is a little bit tippy in your truck if you just leave it in there and you drive around. But as far as on jobs and stuff, I mean, unless you really bump it, it's actually not been near as tippy as I thought it might would be. And again, the promo is still going on until May 31st. So you could get this bag for free if you bought a tier 1 bag, or you can buy this bag for like 160 bucks, I think it is, and get the SC45 for free if that's something that you're interested in. So before I jump into it, I will say up front, you do get these with it. So in case you're watching this and you've never seen this bag, you do get a pouch that clips into the side over here with magnets, and you can take this on and off and use it in your pocket. And you also get a drill holster that does the same thing. So this bag actually comes about like this, but I wanted mine to be sleek and slim to fit in my truck where I wanted it. And then also I just want it to be a smaller bag that I'm grabbing real quick. I can always add those on there to it if I want to, but I kind of run it primarily just like this. So again, I'm going to get into the tools that I run in here. I am a general contractor / commercial residential maintenance, handyman, those kinds of things. I can get 90% of my work done, probably really 100% if I really wanted to, out of this bag. Now, sometimes there would be jobs that would be easier if I had some of the tools that were in my truck or other bags or whatever it might be, but I can always typically get it done with the stuff that's inside this bag. Again, I wanted to go ahead and share this with you in case you decide you want it. You need to get it now while the spring promotion is still going on, or maybe you'll see something in here that would help you with your loadout as well. But let's go ahead and jump into my Veto Pro Pack SPMC. So starting out on the outside of the bag, the only flashlight that I carry is the Olight O-Clip. Very small, very compact. That's what I like about it. And the fact that I can just clip it right into that zipper hole right there, move my bag around to wherever I want that light to go. And again, I know up front, typically, if I'm going to go work under a sink, I know that that's the kind of work I'm getting into. I will grab this bag out of my truck along with my M18 Rover light, and I will just carry that in with it. But I don't need that kind of light all the time, so I don't want to put something like that in a bag that I'm going to carry around and then not have to use it all the time. So this is the only flashlight that I carry in my bag. So this bag also has this zipper here that opens up to this pouch so that you don't have to open your bag if you don't want to, but I'll show you that stuff once we get on the inside. But up here on the front, we also have this pouch up on the front, which is a pretty decent sized pouch in all honesty. Velcro inside of here. This is my Allen key set for this bag. It is metric SAE. It is a railer bit rail with those hex keys on it. And again, in my opinion, you cannot beat this for the size and what you can do with it. I can put these in all sorts of my tools that are inside this bag, whether it is a vessel's speed handle. I've got screwdrivers that I can put it in, small ratchets. I can use these so much more that I can just have a set of Allen keys in here, and that's all I can do with it. So really like these. Also just have bit drivers. Here's a Milwaukee small bit driver. Klein 1/4 inch small ratchet, so I can put those hex keys in this. I can also take this out, put my flip sockets in there. There's all sorts of things I can do with this. Really like that. Also have several different shafts. So essentially this is basically my grab all bit pouch. So metric flip socket, along with, I think I have the SAE should have down in here as well. So I've got basically a magnetic nut driver set, SAE and metric inside of there. Small package for that as well. This one is the 5/16 3/8 flip socket. This came with one of the screwdrivers I'll show you here in a minute. That's kind of a different size combination, so I keep that in here. Also have a longer DeWalt locking bit holder in case I need that extra length. And then I think other than that, just more of the flip socket shafts with different flip sockets. And then I have one small flex ratchet, or not flex ratchet, but like a box style ratchet from Klein. It's a quad ratchet, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and then 5/16 and 7/16. My most common sizes, this is a small package for all that, so I keep that in there as well. So essentially, again, up here in the front, more bits and things like that. It's pretty much what I keep in there for the most part. Go ahead and throw all these back in there real fast. So again, sometimes I might have to dig through there to find it, but not a big deal whatsoever. They all fit in there extremely easy. And again, you close that up, looks real good. This side over here, I have a Sandtronics non-contact voltage tester. This is probably my favorite one. The part number on this one is the Model 3000. It's the one that's always on, but this one has lights and sound, so that's why I prefer this one. That's kind of been my go-to. I've got that in my vest, got that in this bag, I carry it in my main pouch, those kinds of things. I have a few zip ties over here. Don't carry very many. I just have them wrapped around another zip tie. Again, this is for a one job I go in. If I use up all those zip ties, I get out to my truck, I've got more zip ties. I will just refill that and put a few more in there. Carrying the Ox pencil. This is from Lowe's. I like this one because the pencil sharpener is right here, so I don't have to take that holster out if I want to sharpen my pencil. So it fits in there pretty nice. And then I also carry this Ox marker. I don't think I'm going to keep this in there. I've kind of been using it just to try it out. It has a pretty fat end on it, and for whatever reason, this holster just will not grab onto this. It pulls out every single time. I've not got it to stay at all, so I'm probably just going to swap that out with an ink Zal or something like that with a finer tip. I tend to like those a little bit better. Going on over this side I typically keep empty, but also on a lot of my bags, I just go ahead and put one of these spider drill pins, the holster on there, because my M12 Surge, that's what I always run on that. And I can just take, if I want to take my Surge in, clip it on there, carry that in with the bag. Again, I don't leave it like that. It never stays with the Surge on there. I have other tools in here that I typically will use on most jobs, but if I'm going into a job where just based on what the customer states that it is, if I think I'm going to need my M12 Surge, I'll just go ahead and take it with me. But again, I don't leave it on there the entire time. So now we'll move around to the back side. Back side of the bag, you have this right here that you can hang stuff on. That's really nice on this bag because of the way that this flap goes down instead of up. That's always accessible. That's kind of the main thing about this bag that's pretty nice for a lot of people. We open up this. This is that small tablet section. I'm not sure what all tablets you could fit in there. I don't think mine would fit in there. But on the back side back here, we have a Milwaukee torpedo level. I just keep this in there for marking out cut-in boxes, leveling out maybe like a picture frame or whatever it is, however I'm needing to level. This one's always been my favorite one. Then on the back side, I also keep all these. So these are my Klein hollow magnetic nut drivers. So these aren't just magnetic nut drivers. They're also kind of like they're hollow, not pass through. You can't go all the way through, obviously, but you can fit a lot of thread up inside of these. And this has been a really good set for me. I run into stuff all the time on appliances and things like that, where I've got to get to a nut that is on a, threaded section that is basically sticking out. So these tend to work good for that, or for even, toilet bolts and stuff like that. I keep them on this Loadout magnetic mat, so they pull out super easy. And if I want to use just my mat, I can just take those off real fast, set them to the side, and use this mat. So have a magnetic mat along with it, holds all these super nice. Again, fits in that back side, just slides right down in there. Put my torpedo level back in, close that up. Now we'll get into the inside of the bag. So that's pretty much all the outside of the bag. Again, it's not a big bag, but it does still hold a lot of tools in my opinion. We'll lift this flap down, and inside the bag, again, these are my main tools that I'm going to use, or that I want to use most of the time whenever I'm running into the jobs. First thing, we'll get into this front pouch. Again, you can open this pouch from right here, but that's also that same pouch where if you've got something in there and you just want to open this, you can get to all the same tools in there from the outside without having to open it. So we open this up. I just have a small Wonka Runts pocket tin. Inside of here, I just got little small things, a few Wagos, a few little blue wire nuts. I think I've got some Unishims, some 832s, 632 screws, just stuff that you might run into that whenever you take something apart, it's missing something, whatever it is. A lot of times I use Wagos for testing out stuff, so that's why I keep some of those in there as well. So that's in there, and then the only other thing that I keep inside of this pouch is this small Vera. This is the 838 RARM. That's that ratcheting screwdriver. Got a video for this that goes over all the details, but I really like this one because I can just use it kind of like a thumb screw. and then it just keeps on going. Like, it doesn't have that lock position like what some ratcheting screwdrivers have. And the direction is kind of, if I want to go clockwise, I turn that clockwise, and I can use it as a ratcheting screwdriver as well. This works really well for towel bar screws and stuff like that, so I end up using this quite a bit. That's why that one stays in there. Again, that's all that's pretty much in that pouch. Up here, when we get to the main tools, over here on the left side, I have my Snap-on 9-inch Talon grips, the LN47 ACFs. Really love these. I think I like these a little bit better than even the 7-inch pair, but my 7-inch pair stays in my MP pouches because they fit in there a whole lot better. And this actually works out really well with this bag. It's kind of hard. They're a long plier to fit that into a lot of bags, but this spot over here, it's like it's made for it. Fits in there great. Back in behind that, whenever those are in there, I also keep this Vessel Speed L wrench. I don't get that out very often, but you can pull this out. And again, I've got videos for a lot of these. I'm not going to go in great detail. You have 1/4 inch here. You also have a 1/4 inch kind of wobble ratchet right there, but you can also pull this out. And then if you have a bit, grab a bit real fast out of this bit holder. It will also take a 1/4 inch bit. So all those Allen keys in my regular bit rail, I can basically put into this if I want to. This is a tool that I could use that with, or I can take and put 1/4 inch sockets on there as well, even though you're probably thinking, well, I haven't seen any 1/4 inch sockets yet. Well, that's coming up. So those Vessel speed ratchets there. Over here, you know, the standard stuff, every bag, every pouch, every whatever I have, 180 Cobras. I absolutely love the 180 size. Also the 180 on the pliers wrench. I keep both of those plier head up because I've got them to the back. It's not going to cut my fingers or anything like that. I like being able to see which one is which, even though I can kind of tell from the grips. It's not that big of a deal. Up here in the front, Baco, little small 6-inch. It's the 9029R adjustable wrench. Probably my favorite one of all the ones that I have. I just really like it. Works really well. I like the color on it and all that kind of stuff is also. So that fits down in there in the very front. I don't have that in a pocket, but it just slides right down in there like that. Stays pretty nice. Over here, Knipex Forge wire strippers. So again, you never know what you're going to run into with wiring and stuff like that. So this has more sizes on it. The cutter is still phenomenal. I keep my dip grip ones in my MP2 pouch, so that's why I have these. This isn't my preferred grip, but I keep them in this bag. I actually grab my MP pouch probably more than I even grab this bag. So pair of Knipex Forge wire strippers. Also, right now I'm currently running the Milwaukee USA. This is the 7-inch pair, the MT507s. I bought these on clearance at Home Depot. I normally run Knipex diagonals inside of this, but I'm trying these out, so that's why these are in here. But I always basically carry a pair of diagonals, cutters, whatever you want to call them. Up in here, I'm only keeping this in here because I essentially have the room. There wasn't anything else in there. This isn't a must-have tool for me, but it's also a way to store a few more bits in my bag in case I want those. And this right here, it's not my favorite thing because everything is magnetic, but it's a nice ratchet and I can get it at some different angles. So because it fits in there, because it does those angles more so than anything, I decided to go ahead and keep that in this bag. I guess before I put that back in, down in the bottom of my bag, I always put some rags just to keep stuff from banging loudly. And I also in the bottom, so this is where I keep every bag I own. I've got a set of the SAE and Metric Makita sockets. I don't get them out that often. That's why I put them down on the bottom. But again, I could use these on that Klein mini ratchet. I could use them on this Vessel L speed ratchet or L speed handle, whatever it is, however you call that. Those just stay in the bottom of my bag. They're not necessarily the easiest thing to get to sometimes, but it takes like 5 seconds to get to them. It's not too bad. Up here, I have the Knipex twin grips on this side. This is the 8-inch pair, the 200s. So those fit in there on that side nice. So kind of similar in length to the Snap-on Talon grip pliers. So those are my screw extraction pliers. And then also on this side over here, again, I don't use a precision driver that often. So sometimes I've got to take this out to get to this screwdriver. But I have the tamper-proof, the 32327 Klein 27-in-1 tamper. Again, it's just a very nice screwdriver for a precision driver set, and I like that it's got a bigger handle. So sometimes that small little Vera, this is way too close to the wall for some things for that set screw, and I'll end up getting this out, or I use this just because I've got some bits for it that are smaller and stuff like that. So that's my precision driver in this bag. And then I get into my main drivers, screwdrivers that I'm using. I'm carrying 2 of these right now. If I come up with something else, I could lose one of these. I'm keeping the Klein 17-in-1 in this bag because I like this bit holder right here better than the pulling that up and down like you have to on the typical flip sockets. And the fact that this handle itself, again, has some bit holding in it, because I'm not carrying a bit box or anything like that in this bag. I'm essentially using this along with this, and then my regular bit rail with my hex keys to put the bits in it that I use the most. This one also comes with that 3/8 socket adapter on this side, but I don't carry any 3/8 sockets in here, so I never flip this one around. It always stays like this right here. So I've got a bit holder with some bits, and then I also have a 1/4-inch nut driver if I need it with this one. And then I also have the Impact 11-in-1, which is my preferred screwdriver, but I don't have any bits right there. And I keep this one set up because I've got this one in here as well right now with just the Phillips and then the slotted on this side. Of course, you do have the 5/16 here, but on this side, I carry a 1/4 and 5/16 Malco instead of that other side with the 3/8. So basically, this would be typically the screwdriver's got everything on here that I'm going to run into the most, but this one here has bits, and I can set up 2 screwdrivers. So if I want to use Phillips in this one and slot it in this one, I can have 2 dedicated screwdrivers instead of swapping stuff back and forth. But even with both those in there, if I have the option to, this is the main tool that I'm going to use the most. This is my Veto USB screwdriver. I absolutely love this. I bought 3 of these over the course of time. You put a bit holder in it, I can make it whatever I want to, and it works really well for most of the stuff that I do. But even on top of that, there are times, let me go ahead and put all these in there so you can see that it fits with those in there. So even if I put all my tools back in real fast, again, I don't carry a ton of tools in here. There's just enough. I can't overload this because there's really not more I could fit in there. Everything that if I put it in here, I still can use my DeWalt gyroscopic screwdriver. So maybe I don't need a M12 Surge, but maybe I need a little bit more power than the Veto USB. I keep this in my truck in my vest pockets. I can also take and put this in here, and it still closes up as well. So sometimes I will do that as well. One other thing that I keep up in here, I do keep some jaw protectors for the pliers wrench. I've also got some coming for my 180 Cobras as well, so I'll have those up in here. And then other than that, I just keep a Phillips bit like this with a Milwaukee magnet on here, more so because occasionally I run into stuff where I need this type of a bit in a longer reach instead of a locking bit holder. So this runs into that, and I've got a magnet right there if I need that as well. So pretty much that's it for my Veto Pro Pack SPMC. Again, overall, I feel like it is a pretty nice bag. It's actually better than I expected it to be. It holds way more tools than I expected it to be. I won't have any problem with this being my 90% bag. I was a little worried it was going to be too small, but I'm really shocked at what all fits in there. And like I said, the only thing that's kind of a downside to it, if I had to say, I kind of said it in that SBLD going into my SPMC video, is because this flap comes down like this, and because this is so high, like if you like stubby screwdrivers, little short tools, like that Klein ratchet, you know, if it wasn't in here, I can't really put tools like that. I mean, that's a 6-inch pair of, you know, adjustable wrench right here, and you put that in there and it is pretty much gone. So you'd always be digging your hand down in there for small tools. So if you run small tools, this is definitely not going to be the bag for you. But again, I have been pleasantly surprised with it. It's not near as tippy as I expected it to be. I mean, you really got to hammer it a little bit if you want it to fall over. And I strap it into my truck so it doesn't tip over in my truck as well. But that's my Veto Pro Pack SPMC. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. If you've been running this bag, how well do you like it so far? Are you using the drill holster and also the pouch, or have you found some other use for those? Drop those in the comments down below as well. But as always, I hope this video was helpful. Hope it's interesting in some way. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.